Hello everyone, welcome to the channel, and in this video we keep talking about building CRM in Notion with integration with the make and loops. And in the previous video we talked about how to build these data tables for the companies, people, deals, and also if you watched my previous video we talked about how to set up make automation which synchronize your contacts like people from the Notion with the people in your audience, like email audience in the loops. And actually, by doing that, it's very powerful. It's super cool. But we actually will face one problem, which I actually faced myself when I was building it for myself. The problem is that I kind of like had this table of the people connected to my web form, so the form on my website, and sometimes I was getting some spam, and I was getting kind of like fake leads. So leads from somebody who I don't want to have in my audience, but they were kind of like getting inside of this like people table automatically, and they were like synchronized to the loops. And kind of like I ended up having too many like fake contacts and in my audience, and even one day something really weird happened, and like I got like 1,000 of these kind of like scam kind of like people in my database, and I spent quite a lot of time to clean up both the Notion and also the loops as well. So that's why like I created another table. It's actually called leads. So we do not directly send people to our table of the people, which is synchronized with our email audience, but we're going to get them to this like leads. So basically all of the form submissions, like everything, like whenever we get some lead, we're going to put them in this table called leads. And here, usually what kind of information we'll be collecting is kind of getting name, that will be the email of the person, whether they subscribe to our like newsletter. So like if we have their consent, the phone number, company name, the role, the source as well, like whether they came from the website or maybe like it's some, I don't know, like at some meetup or like some event we just found these people. So we get this kind of information, and we have like statuses like for the person, for the company, deal, and also we connect them to the companies and people afterward. And I also created some automations which help you to kind of like convert this lead into person and the company, and also after that to create the deal as well. So we will be kind of like creating a record for the people, for the companies, and also for the deal as well. Okay, let's go into Make and see how it actually works. So in Make, we're going to have these two scenarios. So the first one is a little bit big. It's the scenario to process our like people in company, but actually Nick, just because we have a like a duplicate of the same process here for different variations. So basically, this one is for the situation when the lead is already in our database of the people. So like if there's the same person who we already worked with before, if he submits the form or like somehow becomes a lead once again, then we're updating. And also we are checking like the company, also like if we're already working with this company or not. So we also have two paths for that. And this one is if this is the person who we kind of like encountered with for the first time. And also we're checking if we're already working with his company or if it's a new company for us as well. So if we get back to Notion, we will see that here I have like some formula. This formula is kind of like just showing me the status, which is here. So I just didn't want to make it so easy to change the status. So that's why I put the kind of like a formula here so that you cannot just accidentally change the status of the lead because it's supposed to be done automatically. And we have a workflow here in this button, approve. So what it does, it sends a webhook to our make to this module with the data of this lead. So basically, we're sending the name, we're sending the email, we're sending the status of the subscription, phone number, company name, role, And then what happens is we are checking, like if we have this, so we are searching the object, and we're checking if we have this person in our database or not, and we're doing it by email. So if we open this module, you will see that we bring the email from the webhook data, and we check if we have the person with this email already in our database. Then what I also do, I extract, I made this kind of formula to extract the domain of the website, of the email actually. So people come in with this kind of like domains, and this domain is used as a kind of like key to distinguish companies, like to understand whether we are working with the company which already in our database or some new company. So that's why I just save it for as a variable here in the beginning. And then based on whether we found this person or not, we are kind of like updating the existing person, or we are creating a new person, and then we also connect, we update the status of the person status as it like newly created, or other options like actually if we go here, we can also mark it as updated existing. So like if we already have a person, but let's say we change the name or something like that, so like we kind of like somehow updated the existing kind of the data item in our people database. So this is the status. Then we are checking the company. So we're searching for this company, and again, like if this company exists, actually when we're searching, we are using the domain. So the one which I said before, like the from the variable, we're checking if this domain is registered with the company or not. So if we go to companies here, I have this field domain, and we see that we're kind of like searching this field with the email address of the leads which we get, and we see if this company already in our database or not. So like the assumption is that the company usually has one domain which they are using. So like if they're using their corporate email address, then we're just checking the email address domain and understanding whether they kind of like belong to this organization or not. So that's how it's usually done in the world, and like that's the assumption which we do in this workflow. And then again, like if we have this company, we're updating it, and if we don't have it, we create, and in the end, we update the lead again. So here in the end of the leads table, we have companies and people, and they also get connected to this lead. So I want to try to run this process. Let me just check that everything is turned on. Okay, no problem. So let's try with this Alex Black. Let's even maybe open this scenario so that we can see that it worked. Let's press approve, and we go to make, and we see our scenario is now working. So it's a new lead, so it went on this way, and it's a new company. And now when we get back to Notion, we see that we have the person status changed to newly created, company status to newly created. Actually, like distinguishing between kind of like newly created or updated existing is more to help us to kind of like do some analytics on our leads later. So if we want to see how many of the new kind of like people are submitting the leads, or like how many of them are duplicated, we can use these different statuses to kind of build some graphs and understand more about our lead generation results. Then in the end, we can see that here's like the company and people, they are connected. So in the companies, we have a new company here. We have their website, we have the domain also was added from the web, from the email address, and we have a person connected as well, and we have a lead also connected to this company. And the person, again, here's the person marked as subscribed to email. Phone number, I don't remember if that was filled in or not. Yeah, so like it's connected to company, connected to lead, everything is fine. Then later we kind of like will be talking to this lead, talking to this person, and it might happen that we kind of like create a deal. So like we're actually talking about some contract. Um, so and to kind of like already track the process of the contract to see um, if we can close it or not. So kind of like we need to create deal, and because we also want to kind of like have leads connected to the deal, so that in the future we can analyze how many of the leads actually were like converted into deals, and maybe even like understand like what the value of the contracts which we created. We also will be doing this automation with the deals here as well. So let's go back to make, and I will explain one more scenario. This one, is actually it's very simple. It's just 3 steps. So we receive data from the Notion, we create deal, and we update lead. We update lead status. So we update this deal status here in the lead, and we will also connect the lead to the deal. So let's run this automation. Okay, automate, and we see our deal status is done. Automation went through, and we're going to have one more deal. So we have this deal called Black Capital. It connected to the lead. We can do it kind of like 2 ways synchronization. And remember, if I actually turn it on for that table, and here actually something didn't work well, but it's supposed to kind of also connect the people and company as well. So in this part here, I probably made some mistake for connecting data here. But anyway, this is how it works. And again, what's the kind of like benefit of using this system of like making difference between leads and people is because later on we will be able to build better analytics. We will be seeing how kind of like we will be treating different person as different same person as different leads if they submit our forms several times, and we can understand how that this person submitted the form that kind of like became a lead several times, multiple times, or maybe like he's more kind of interested in our services or something. So it helps to our analytics. And one more thing is that it helps us to prevent kind of like populating this data of people with some kind of like spam, which may accidentally come to with some automations when we actually come to our CRM. Exactly, that's what happened with me. There was like one attack, and like I got like more than 1,000 in just like an hour or something, like more than 1,000 like fake scam leads on my website, like some scams from submissions. So we will not be kind of like making our email audience dirty, because also like loops only allows you to have like 1,000 people in the audience for free. So you don't want to kind of have any scam emails in that audience. You want to keep it clean. So those are the main benefits. Yeah, if you have any questions or suggestions, please let me know in the comments. I will be happy to talk about, like to discuss with you. And yeah, stay tuned for the next videos, and we will be building more amazing automations for this CRM. See you. Bye.